not great. So we just left Lagos. We were going to head down the coast a little bit, and the steering system's gone. Okay, so we are at Cascais. We had a bit of a problem with the windlass, so we are anchored. The windlass, the fuse went. Here we are. Beautiful evening. And yeah, we went into town for a little bit. It's a really beautiful place. Overall, an amazing day, really. Like to see the dolphins and that little butterfly, and actually I'll go back inside because it is very windy. Here's Mr. Polo. So he still hasn't gone to the toilet on the boat, which is a bit of a disaster, but I'm going to need to make a little toilet thing for him. Yeah, I just had a bit of food. I need to clean up the boat a little bit now, and we're gonna have some more food, watch a bit of the World Cup, and then tomorrow we'll explore Cascais properly. So I'll take the GoPro in and yeah, show you guys around Cascais. And yeah, we just have to look at the weather forecast then. Again, the kind of goal is to get to the Mediterranean as quick as possible. There's a place maybe 50 miles down the road called Sins, and that has like a nice protected anchorage, because I think on Thursday it's going to be like 35 knots here, so maybe we leave Wednesday mid-morning. We'll see how tomorrow goes at Cascais. So yeah, just going to clean up now and settle in for the evening. So, a little bit about Cascais. It's about half an hour from Lisbon, and for centuries the place where kings came to swim. We started at the marina, which is super modern, it's polished, it's full of boats, fancy shops. Not really our scene, so we kept walking. 5 minutes in, it's a different world. The Park Marechal Carmona, I think. It's some of the most beautiful gardens we've seen. Big old trees, shade everywhere for Polo. Chickens just wandering around, and he couldn't believe his luck. Unfortunately, we couldn't go into many of the buildings just because they wouldn't let dogs in. So then we walked around the old town, which is just gorgeous. Cobbled lanes, tiled houses, flowers everywhere. Little squares that haven't changed in 100 years. The kind of place you wander with no plan, which is exactly what we did. And then we found the best bit. A little cove below the Casa de Santa Maria. It turns out it's where local dogs come to swim. So Polo made some friends in about 4 seconds, and we spent the next half an hour him running after the ball and swimming with them. A 600-year-old water dog breed back in Portugal, swimming with the locals. He's not a tourist here, he's home. Right, so well, we're doing okay. It was a pretty rough start, I won't lie, just like not in terms of weather, but in terms of a few things, you know, just going against us. But you know what, it's a beautiful day now. It's a good day to have a good day. The waves have really settled down. An apology to the weather forecasters. The wind is coming from behind us now. I think it's just because when I left actually a bit earlier, because I woke up at like 6 a.m. and I was going to leave at like 8:30, so that's what I had my Navionics planned at. So the wind has turned and it is coming from behind us. There is no wind though. So we have the engine on, and listen, ups and downs like most things in life. There's no point like projecting on here saying it's an amazing life, it's absolutely perfect. I'm only a week in, getting used to it. There's like everything in life. There's good things, there's bad things, there's good moments, there's bad moments. You could have a great morning and a terrible afternoon and vice versa. So, you know, you just go with the flow, but you know, don't believe anyone who tells you this life is perfection and there's nothing bad about it. You know. It's brilliant, but it's also terrible. Okay, so I'm just in Cascais here, and you live and you learn, embarrassingly enough. I didn't realize about the orcas, so for the last couple of days, I've just been bopping along, you know, free as a bird, you know, just following the right path when it comes to wind and direction to the next port, but I've not been keeping within 20 meters depth because I thought the orcas didn't start till the Strait of Gibraltar. So I met a man yesterday who has a boat here at the anchorage, and he was like, "How are you getting on with the orcas?" And I was like, "What do you mean the orcas?" And he was like, "Oh, you know, like they're on the way up to the north of Spain now, going along the Portuguese coast." So yeah, so tomorrow should be interesting. Making my way down to Lagos because now I'll be a little bit more paranoid. So, oh God, I know some of you will think I'm a bit of an idiot, you know, and maybe even like, you know, not doing the right thing safety wise, but it was bliss the last 2 days because I wasn't even thinking about orcas. So now tomorrow I'm gonna have to reroute my plan to stay within 20 meters depth and hug the coastline. So yeah, you learn something new every day in this life. Yeah, unfortunately this is just 10 out of 10 shite. Just waves coming on our side and roll, like just terrible rolling. Yeah, so bad. But you have to like hug the coastline, so you gotta. Oh, and it would be such a beautiful day sailing if we could go further out, but obviously these are like the recommendations for the orcas, but it's literally the perfect day to sail. I don't know, man. This is just the worst ever. It's so uncomfortable. Like, anyway, I might try and, if I can get like a straight for at least an hour and a half that's close to the shore, I don't have to zigzag, I'll probably put up a sail because the boat just doesn't balance when it's just the engine. Obviously, like the boat's built as a sailboat to have, you know, different sails up combined depending on what the weather's doing. So like when you just have the engine on, it's nearly the worst. So yeah, just a little bit frustrated. I can't wait to get out of the Atlantic, man. It just sucks ass. So fucking shit. Alright, so we are passing a very beautiful lighthouse here. Cabo de São Vicente. Something like that. Definitely didn't pronounce it alright, but yeah, super beautiful. Yeah, I think we're coming to the end of a pretty shitty day, but you know what? The ending's been nice here. I think once we wrap around this corner now, it'll be a nice sail into Lagos, even though I haven't applied yet for the marina, but you know, I do need to do a bit of work on the boat for probably 48 hours, and I wouldn't mind like 2 good nights sleep in a row. I think the intensity of just keeping an eye out for the orcas, and obviously my autopilot's not working, and then every time like the rudder moves in a weird way because of a wave, you're kind of looking behind you like it's one of those little peckers there. So that's kind of annoying. I'll probably just relax now. Maybe even try to get a little bit of a nap if there's a safe space around here on the way to Lagos. Interestingly enough, we're just passing around the kind of cape here, which is stunning. And I don't know, you won't be able to see this, but there's a complete change of sea state. It's like we're not fully leaving the Atlantic, but oh, this is fantastic. In a couple of seconds now, just on the inside, it's beautiful. So we got a bit of a furl Genoa out, which is blowing 20 knots of wind, and we're doing 6, so yeah, probably 26 knots of wind out there now. So I just kept the furl, I didn't even let it out fully, I just kept a bit of a reef in it, you know, because yeah, it's gusting here. You can, I don't know if you can see, but alrighty, so we are at Sagres, which was known as the end of the world back in the day, because people thought that the earth was flat, and when the sailors went that away, that there was no more world, and it ended here in Sagres. Obviously that's not true, but they didn't know that, so, you know, fair play to them. Brave people heading off into the abyss. But we are surrounding Sagres right now. This is actually where Polo, the Portuguese water dog, originates from, so going to see his ancestry a little bit later once we dock. The marina still hasn't replied in Lagos, so, you know, I always get a little bit worried when I'm heading into a marina, because I, you know, still can't really park this thing very well. But it's quite cool to be at Sagres. I've had 1 or 2 of their beers in my time, and, you know, I think it's quite poignant to be on my first major voyage, and this is where people back in the day had their, what they thought was their last voyage, which, to be honest, probably was for many of them, because you had no weather forecast back then. You could have been, you know, sailing straight into a hurricane or a storm and you wouldn't have had a clue, or rocks or whatever. Anyway, I need to buy a mic for this, because now that we're closer to the Med, there'll be a lot more outdoorsy conversations and thoughts. And there's Mr. Polo having a great time. Not great. So we just left Lagos. We were going to head down the coast a little bit, and the steering system's gone while I'm at sea, and I'm just going to go anchor inside the Bay of Portimao. One of my dad's friends has a contact there that I was going to say hello to anyway, but now I don't know what this means. Obviously I'll have to lift the boat out of the water. Crazy expense, reversing out of that estuary, and the wheels spun. I'm glad it happened there. There's just massive vibrations on the steering system. I don't know enough about it to know what's going on. All I know is if that happened at sea. But anyway, touch wood, it happened like 50 meters from land, so that might mean the sailing's over for a little bit. How long, I don't know. Yeah, so comes with the territory, I suppose. Yeah, a bit somber right now, but I don't know, like a week at least I'd probably be here. That's if they even have the time and the materials and to fix it, but this could be like 5,000–10,000 euro. Yo! So You can see the vibrations there. It's just about hanging on. That's crazy, man. Fucking hell. Thankfully, land is just there and Portimao is not too far away, but that is just bonkers. So I'm feeling all right, you know, like I have a lot of work to do on this YouTube stuff, and I bought a sander because I want to sand more of the wood. So even if it is a week or so or longer, 10 days, I'll make the best of it. And you may as well be positive in situations like this. There's no point being negative. It's happened now, it's in the past. And I'm just thankful it didn't happen yesterday. And I'm thankful that, you know, I know some people in this area and, you know, blessed in the sunshine, you know, living my dream. And with my best friend, Mr. Polo over there. You know, life is still good. These things happen. Let's see when this guy can come and take a look at it, but I think the anchorage should be nice, and I got a bit of petrol for the outboard engine and a bit of 2-stroke oil, so I'll start that up later, because you know the rowing's fine, but it's a bit I bought these like really beautiful oars in this like antique sailing shop. I thought they'd look gorgeous with the boat, and like they just hardly work. I have masking tape all over them because they're just falling asunder. So the rowing's not great if there's any bit of wind. And listen, I'll budget out what the autopilot fix could be, because if I'm lifting the boat and I'm doing the steering system, you know, and I'm paying for that, is it worth just, you know, being a bit risky and paying for autopilot? Which I was going to wait to see if, like, I don't know, if this YouTube does well over the next kind of 6 months, could I maybe work with someone, or anyway, you know what I mean? Jesus. So, you know, it's a good day to have a good day. Let's still do that. Let's still have a good day. Well, we've made it to the safety of an anchorage, which is something. And I just went for a little swim. And now I was going to go fill up the, I don't know if you can see the jerry can there, fill up the little 2-board outstroke to head into the shipyard to try and speak with people. And I filled up the jerry can this morning. Now the jerry can is broken, so now I have a 15-litre jerry can full of gasoline with no way to close it. So anyway, the problems keep mounting, but if you do any bit of research before you buy a boat and decide to go sail the world, you hear everyone say boats break the whole time. So anyway, would have been nicer to get a week or two before everything starts breaking. But hey ho, that's the life we choose. So it's bloody hot. I'm sweating. Polo's inside trying to get shelter from the heat, and I'm gonna try get this 2-horsepower beast of an engine. Let me show it to you. Up here. Look at that baby. There's not even a brand name on it. That's how beautiful it is. I don't even know what brand it is. Look at that beast. Will she start? Who knows? My dad used to say Yamahas always start. So let's give it the name of a Yamaha for now, and let's see if we can get her started. If anyone wants to know what it's like getting a little engine started, that's what it's like getting a little engine started. My days. Took about 10 minutes, and then the boat next to me started applauding and they were going away. Oh my god. So like, I don't know, you have to pull it and then you gotta go like a bullet, which the boat's so unstable, the little petit bateau. So I'm gonna have to put Polo in it later and then just bomb. If we hit a wave, we're screwed. It's man overboard or dog overboard. But that was a workout, ladies and gentlemen. But Yamahas always do start, or whatever it is, but it, you know. Whew. Isn't that right, Polo? Sweating like drips. Got no space.